data or stop the teacher from delivering their message. Okay, but actually it's also breaching the privacy of our kids. Okay, if we move on how we look this from a security perspective, any network or any infrastructure, it's a school, home, or anywhere, it's included of a multi-layer of infrastructure. It can be the internet, it can be the physical PC, it can be the application, the e-learning application we're using, Microsoft, teachers, smartboard, etc. These are a huge infrastructure and many points that can be leveraged for attackers to penetrate within your network. And that's what we call it layer security. So there is multiple layers, and at SonicWall, we can help on fulfilling the gaps for each of these layers and make sure that the school assets, the teacher, the kids are protected. Okay. I want to refer back to my colleague that presented before me. I agree with her 100% that it's a we responsibility. Okay. A year back, there was an incident of one of my kids' school. It's an international school, and there was inappropriate material that it was shared and spread through the network, the school network. It's not the teacher responsibility. It didn't happen from the teacher. It was a simple attack through one of the kids' phone that is connected on the school network and start hijacking the data of all the kids in the school and start publishing appropriate material. Okay. And this is where we all need to work together. The teacher, the administration part, the parents, on understanding where is the risk and how we can mitigate this risk. And this incident, actually, we did help. We did run a security assessment free of charge completely. And that's one of the offerings that we provide at SonicWall for the school to understand where exactly is the gap and how we can close this hole. That was number one. Number two, we helped the school on applying the best in class cybersecurity product to make sure that they're protecting against any further attack in the future. The third part is that I had the pleasure to deliver a session, actually 3 different sessions, a session for the teacher and administration team, a session for the kids, and a session for the parents, to share our experience with them and tell them where exactly what's cybersecurity mean, what's attack mean, and how we can help each other on mitigating this. This is one of the case studies that we worked in Africa as well. We have lots of these case studies in the Middle East, where we had an international school that have lots of branches spread across the whole region. And they have a mandate to first deliver best of class education to their kids. They want to make sure that the tools that the teachers they are using is safe and protected, and there is no hiccups during delivering these sessions. And third, they want to make sure that the service provided, or what we call it quality of service, it's up to the standards for these countries. First, we worked out with the customer on understanding their infrastructure. The industry itself, it's the same. Nothing changed. I mean, if I'm checking on South Africa or Kenya, Egypt, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi, the industry is the same. The only difference is how the infrastructure look like and how the administration is operating. So we did spend some time with the group and with the individual schools to understand how they're set up, and we start working on them on building an architecture to make sure everyone within the ecosystem is protected. That's not something new for us. I mean, education, it's one, especially K-12, it's one of the strongest verticals within SonicWall worldwide, and you'll be surprised that in Middle Eastern and Africa, we are leading this. We are number one when it comes to the education or securing schools and universities within our region. That's not something new for us. We have been doing this. I'm just, I mean, case studies and references in the region. It's huge. It's a lot. I'm just sharing some of these ones that we did within the Africa territory. With that, thank you for very much for the time and the opportunity. And again, I want to share my respect and thankful for all the teacher doing for our kids. Thank you.
Yeah. Mohamed, well said. I think 100%. So much respect for our teachers, and thank you for what you're doing and keeping them safe. It's amazing to hear that kind of Africa and Middle East is on the cutting edge on that. I'm going to ask you to end your slide. I'm going to ask Lerato to jump on. I'm also going to ask Ashley Lawrence to jump on. Guys, we can kill the slide there just to give us more space on stage.
Sure.
Maybe, Ashley, just one question for you. I know you are the local person here, or one of the local team here in South Africa. If anyone is sitting there going, flip, I'm not worried about, well, I'm a bit worried about my classroom security or school security, what can they do? Can they reach out to you? Can you help them? Let us know.
100%. First of all, there's an app, Hoover app on the phone. Even me in the tender age of 50 is using these things. So we have, of course, I can't open it. I have the app on my phone. So please share, reach out, connect. There is obviously wonderful popular acts in South Africa. So please say, do contact me. And that gives us permission to contact you. And then we can put you, we'll reach out to you. We've actually just put together a little plan on the back of our Cape Town trip. And we're going to rinse and repeat for Joburg this Friday. But yes, we're 100% available. We touched this morning and we didn't kind of mention this afternoon, but we're a 100% channel-based company. So we have certified and accredited partners, some of them going back 22, 23 years in South Africa. So when Mo speaks about South Africa and the Middle East, Turkey and Africa being the worldwide leaders in education, I think some of the first schools we did were in North Pretoria in 1999. So we've got quite a bit of expertise in the area. So reach out to us. We'll hook you up with a partner. We'll come and see you virtually or physically, and we'll help you start your leveling up journey in your schools.
Awesome. Mohamed, thank you. We appreciate you. I know you're still in isolation, so we appreciate you sharing with us, opening our eyes to what's happening there. Ashley, once again, I think if anyone out there wants to reach out to Ashley, also what we've done, there's a poll. In the poll, which is on the right of your screen, you just pop in there and say yes, get the team from Ashley, the team from SonicWall to contact me. It's basically an opt-in, allows us then to share details so they can contact you. And then Lerato, can you give us just for cybersecurity one takeaway that you would like to share from this last bit?
Thank you so much, Mohamed. First of all, it's always so great to hear from such companies, because the fact that Mohamed spoke at first about how he respects teachers and actually how he puts in this work for teachers and schools means a whole lot, because these are companies that actually hear our problems in a school where you have more than one child, unlike at home where, you're controlling your 3 kids or your 1 child. Companies like you guys, you see us as how are we managing all these kids, and it happens, Mohamed. I mean, they could be searching one thing and then something else pops up. So it's always good to hear that you guys actually have teachers on your side, you have educators on your side, and you're putting the kids' security first. And thank you for mentioning that it is important, what I said, that it's a we thing. Us, Mohamed and them, Ashley, parents, everybody, we are in this together.
Awesome. Lerato, thank you so much. Ashley, Mohamed, you gents can drop off. Melissa, you shared that you find it scary that children can bypass stuff. I encourage you, reach out to Ashley, fill in the poll. He'll be able to share some tips of how to prevent that from happening. And that's what they do, because it is super scary what these kids can do. All right. I've got a quick question. Is anyone out there got a laptop but no laptop bag? First person to say yes. First person to say they need a laptop. Bernard,
Bernard,
you just won yourself a laptop bag from Dell. They also...
That laptop bag also has some goodies in it. It has goodies in it.
2 times 32 gigabyte USB keyring. So you'll be able to share that with one of your colleagues as well. So Bernard, well done. You were first on the draw. On that note, while we're talking Dell, I'm quite excited for this session. Lerato, you can drop your video and stuff, drop off to the back. We will bring you back on, don't worry.
Awesome. So next up, we have Pam. Pam's on stage already. Hello, welcome, Pam. Good to see you back on Schoolscape stage. By way of introduction, Dell is a great partner of ours, and I'm particularly excited about this session that we're going to have now. So Dell has been working closely with someone named Christian Pieterse, and he is one of those faithful parents that's more involved, I think, in the school than it sounds in his own business that he co-owns with someone. So he's been on the governing body of Rand Park Primary for 2 years now, really focusing in on finances and how to digitalize their school. And it's one of the lowest fee paying schools in Joburg. He's got kids in the school and he's just extremely passionate and he's doing an amazing thing. So welcome, Christian, welcome, Pam. And today we're going to hear their story, their journey from Christian, and then a bit also from Dell's side. Dell's doing some amazing new collaborative hybrid stuff in education, but that will come in a minute. First, we're going to hand over to Christian and to Pam, and they're really going to discuss kind of how they've taken a school that was desperate and wanted to get a digital footprint into their school to really succeed at it, and on a budget, which is amazing because sometimes this is a conundrum. They don't always go together, hey?
That's true.
That's true. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to give the floor to you guys and off you go.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Christian, for joining. I think firstly, we have to wish all women out there a happy International Women's Day. There's a lot of women that are moms and teachers and educators, whether it be at home or in school. So thank you for your support, and we will change the bias and break it. Just a brief introduction. My name is Pamela Sunaran. I am the Client Solutions Lead for Southern Africa, which is your endpoint technology. And I'm also the Education Ambassador for Dell for our Middle East, Russia, Africa, Turkey region. And, I personally have been passionate about education for quite a substantial number of years and have implemented quite a number of solutions across the African continent. So, having Christian here today also just allows us to share with you the challenges that a lot of our schools in the African continent experience, let alone just South Africa. And Christian comes with a wealth of knowledge. As Ashley mentioned, he's personally involved in how his kids are being educated and what sort of technology is being provided in that space, especially with a school like Rand Park Primary, where budget is challenged, and most schools that sit within where it is parents that actually pay the school fees, it always triggers that conversation as to whether, do I want to make that transformation? Do I want to invest that money? And this is what we are going to delve into today. So this is a session for both educators and students and the decision makers within the schooling environment. And I'm going to leave it to Christian to give a brief description of why he's involved with Rand Park Primary, and just a basic overview of the challenges that he's experienced overlooking the infrastructure within Rand Park Primary.
Thank you so much, Pamela. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to confirm everyone can hear me clearly. My name is Christian Peters. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me to the session. I'm an SGB member. Actually, just to correct, I've been around on the SGB board now for 5 years. I served the previous term as treasurer of the school, and I joined as a parent into a lovely school that has so much potential, but there are limitations in low-paying fee schools. These are the real challenges that we face, especially during COVID. We have exemptions. This is a Section 21 school, and good governance is one of the key elements that helps us provide the right education and platform. So a bit of background myself. I'm a dad. I have twins in the school. They're now in grade 7. They've joined the school in grade 2, and one of the things we picked up first is when I wanted to join as an SGB member was to make a difference in the school. The challenges that we face in Section 21 schools is funds. Rand Park Primary, as an example, is one of the lowest, actually currently in Gauteng, the second lowest paying fee school in Gauteng. And with that being said, we have to cover a wide variety of expenditures. And there's a dire need for technology and a platform for kids. And the challenges that we faced was upfront funds. Fundraising was one of the attributes that helped us fundraise, but we need something more than that, and that's where governance came in. So the challenges that we went through, starting with, was planning. Planning was one of the biggest things we had to do as a collective thing, and one of the biggest things we as a SGB group faced was collaboration. When we joined, when I joined the SGB, the team that I joined in the SGB is the make or break in a school. They're the parents that contribute their knowledge, their wealth, information. And when you have a great team on the SGB and there's good governance in a school, which is what Rand Park Primary is all about, and a good principal, I can't isolate the principal. The principal is always the big part in a good school. But honesty, integrity, and good audits. Then the need has been talked about. So to bring a Dell solution on board is a big task from a financial point of view. So planning is where Dell helped us significantly with the consultation part as to what solution would best work for it. Content is the end result as to what the school would need, but the platform, the hardware, the software, the securities, we just spoke about that in the previous session now, is a fundamental important aspect when it comes to safety. It's not an SGB thing. It's not a teacher. It's not a learner. It's a us thing. We have to plan this as a collective team. So planning took the better part of the time that we had to plan and put this together. Dell came in also with their part of their solution and gave us a considerable discount and a collective solution, and we're very appreciative of that. And now, if you want to bring up the first slide, I just wanted to bring up to show you what the end result is. I want to quickly see if I can just prompt that one here.
So while you're doing that, Christian, I mean, with Rand Park Primary being a low-cost or a low-fee school, this was a difficult task for you. It took a while to plan, to actually get an indication of how you're going to map out your infrastructure. And exactly to your point, one of your pain points were, firstly, do you need a full solution that is hosting all data on the devices? The question to that was no. You want a virtual solution, and you needed the back-end infrastructure to support this virtual solution, where majority of the applications are sitting on the cloud. So what we did was, and you know, Christian and myself met after he started his planning, you know, a lot of schools are faced with this challenge where a traditional notebook does not apply in that environment due to the low fees or the small budgets that are available. So this is a virtual desktop infrastructure. It is a cloud solution that we provided to Christian, and we actually provided the backend infrastructure, which is your PowerEdge servers. We actually placed a T640 server with sufficient amount of storage and memory to actually assist with a 50-user infrastructure at Rand Park Primary. So Christian, this is the setup, right?
That is correct. And one of the big things that I really appreciated about this solution is the expandability and upgradability, because being an IT for amount of years in technology upgrades so quick, and the content that's moved from desktop to web-based to cloud. And it's an infinity amount of cloud content for school education that's now available. But that hardware selection plays a crucial role in making the right selection. And as you can see in the background, these are thin terminal cases where we have a central server solution that's connected to cloud, which updates and increases security possibilities. And as you can see, the collective administration, maintenance, management, all the aspects that was part of the planning has come to this in what you see in the background there. So kids can very easily be introduced to base ground up to high, to any level of education from, and it's collectively done to all the kids in one classroom at the same time, which is fundamentally important in the future and at the moment. So that was one of the biggest plus points for me. And the support, I think one of the biggest things behind this is you can have a great state-of-the-art system and best upgradability, but if you do not have that support, you're going to struggle with aspects and issues coming up in the future. And that's where Dell came in, and their support is also great.
And that's key, right? A lot of schools today are worried about just attaining the hardware and not being able to implement it. And the second challenge comes into play is when educators are unfamiliar with the technology, let alone students being unfamiliar with tech. So from a Dell perspective, we traditionally sell 3 tiers of support. In a situation or an infrastructure like this, we would generally go straight for pro support, where there's a 24/7 engineer that's available, and the support of your infrastructure is critical. A lot of schools get left behind after the fact or after the point of sale. And from a Dell perspective, we have a variety of support options that can suit your budget, as Christian has mentioned. Christian, I want to ask the following question. How has your students integrated into this cloud platform and the virtual desktop environment?
That is actually a very, very good question. As you can see, this was the day that we took this photo, is when we were setting up Hour of Code, which is a web-based platform. And the kids very quickly caught on to the platform itself. We're actually at the beginning stages right now of introducing this to the entire school, as we've just increased the size of the school for Randpark Primary. So we've added 7 more classrooms due to the requirement from the GDE. And so we now have 1,200 kids plus that's joining this classroom. The tables have been worked out, but we've seen a very positive result. The excitement behind the kids when they sit in front of the screen the first time is a Kodak moment, as we call it. It's a picture that I haven't taken one yet, but I will definitely send it on. But it was worthwhile, and you can see the excitement in their faces when they join and when they have these sessions, and it is all worth the effort, all worthwhile when you see that at that moment.
So, this is a little bit more detailed, but, the audience that we have today and the messaging that we want to pass on is it is not impossible to make the transition. It's not impossible to make the change. And, looking at this picture, there's more improvements we can make around the look and feel. For example, this Wise 5070 thin client that we've got is now shifting into a hybrid portfolio where you have the option for complete cloud, or you have the option for applications to sit on your device, and we can sell that as either or. So depending on your school scenario, there might be certain segments within your school that require a virtual cloud environment, and there may be other users or students that require technology that they can utilize on their device, or hard storage and processing power. So we can actually customize a solution for schools. What I want to ask is, if you had to give a ballpark figure of what your total expense was to set these devices up and get your students onto tech, what would that ballpark figure look like for a school that's sitting in your space?
So to answer that question, and just to also elaborate on what you said before, we're already using the hybrid scenario where we have local applications installed on the thin terminal as well as the web collective login. But to upgrade to this solution is more than just a computer center. We had to actually redo the entire network of the school itself. So starting from the internet connection right through to the terminals that you see on the desktop screen here, and collectively with the installation, the backup teams, the Dell partners, their costs, the machines, the implementation, the planning, In addition, also the server room that we had to amend and build. The computer center was an existing computer center with all the generation, very old generation desktop computers that we had to remove and roll out the new costs. We had to also implement air conditioning, electricity, the whole cost. So if I collectively had to put this into, you're looking just under R1 million, or just under R1 million to 1.1, 1.2 million rand for a solution like this.
That's great. And this gives our audience an indication. I know we're running out of time, Ashley, and we have to move on to Dineo. Christian, I want to say thank you. I look forward to working with you to implement such a solution to other schools that would potentially want to improve their tech transformation. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you again for your time, and thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure speaking to you today.
Awesome. Thank you, Christian. Thank you so much. I think just to touch on one question that came through on the chat was, and Pam, you're the perfect person to answer this. Can we contact Dell directly for the support that Christian is talking about? Or do you then need to go through third-party resellers and things like that? Or if they're sitting with Dell Kit and they need help with it, where do they go?
We are a channel organization. We do support our partner community in South Africa and Southern Africa. You are welcome to contact me directly, and I will put you in touch. I will engage with you firstly. We'll figure out the solution, and then we'll engage a partner that can support you on the back end.
Awesome. So use those polls if that is something that you want, do you want help with, want to start the discussion in school, you're looking for devices, you're looking for advice. Pam and her team are the perfect people for that. Talking about team, we still have Dineo from Dell that's going to come on and speak a little bit about amazing collaborative new tech that Dell's bringing out. I mean, I want to talk about a complete solution really for education. So I'm going to give it back. We're going to say bye to Christian. We'll give it back to Pam now and welcome Dineo on stage. There you go.
All right. Dineo, are you there? Let's bring you on stage. Yeah, and Christian, I just saw one of the comments. Well done with what you've done. I think there are many schools out there that were wishing they had parents like you that were actively engaged within the school. So it's just amazing to see what you've done as a school. All right, technical team, can we see Dineo in the background? Can we bring her on stage? Are you there?
I think what's also good to know is that there are companies like Dell, you know, big players in the industry and in education that are thinking of lower income schools. You know, this technology and the adoption of technology and digitalization of schools can't just be for the upper level schools anymore. We need to have that trickle down effect properly going on in our country, especially now seeing what a COVID scenario that can do to all of us. It really does halts the whole educating spectrum if we don't have some form of technology. So that's awesome.
All right, I see we have lost Dineo, but I'm sure she will be back on soon. So what I think, if it's all right with you, Pam, we're just going to bring our next speaker on, and then when we find her again, we'll pull her back on. And I love it. Good old technology. There's always got to be a challenge.
Let's hand over maybe to Pam for a minute to close off just what her and Christian were talking about, and then we'll bring Loops on.
All right.
Sure. Thank you, Ashley. You know, to that point, I think a lot of schools have a fear of making that change. And I just want to highlight that there is a solution for every school. We customize our solutions. We ask the questions before we propose a solution. And that's the conversation I want to start having with the audience today. It is more around, give us an idea, an indication, let us do the assessment, and we can take it from there. I see Dineo has joined. I'm not sure whether you want to still skip to the next speaker or we get Dineo to kick off on the collaboration.
All right, sorry about that. We're doing some magic in the background getting our next speaker on because the speaker is in person. Dineo, I think we found, and we're going to get her back on. Is she there now? All right, let's see if we can get Dineo on before the next speaker. Dineo, can you jump on stage? And I just got so much respect for all of you teachers out there for 2 years of lockdown and kids at home having to deal with all of this. You know, we do it for one day and it gives us, nightmares, but we get in there. All right. Danae is not on. So Pam, we're going to drop you off, but thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
We'll bring her on. And once again, if you want to reach out to Pam and the team from Dell, please do so. Just jump on the poll. You can literally enter that poll, say, listen, I want some more information, and she'll be able to connect with you. All right, Loops, you are up. So I had to do some serious bribery and corruption for this one. So Loops is actually my daughter's teacher. And he is one of these frustrating teachers because every day my daughter comes home and just tells me something gushing with a smile on her face, like not irritating. That's not, I think it puts me to shame that there's someone that is so loved by so many children. So every time she comes and she shares something, I'm just like, wow, we've got to get this guy on stage to share something about how he engages these kids and just some of the stories of technology. So Loops, welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. Awesome being here.
Brilliant.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for jumping on short notice. So Loops, I'm going to intro you, then I'm going to step off stage. But so everyone knows, Loops is grade 5. My daughter's in the class. I should know this. If my wife is watching, I'm going to be shot. So he's a grade 5 teacher. He's at Renish Primary, and he's just passionate about education. So Loops, I'm going to hand over to you. And the floor is yours for the next 10 minutes to share what you do to get these kids excited.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So just a quick intro about myself. Obviously, my name is Loops Tuswa. I am born in the Eastern Cape. Love the Eastern Cape, favorite part of the world. And so I've been at Renish Primary for 3 years now, and I am really, really passionate about teaching. I started off as a sports coach in Cape Town, and I just realized how much the learners could just get out of being on the sports field, and it just intrigued me of how different they were from a sports field to being in the classroom. So I started asking a couple of questions on how we can get them to be so engaged in the classroom. And again, I think then it brings me to my teaching philosophy. If you don't have a relationship with the learners, and if you can't form a proper bond with them, then unfortunately you can't get any teaching done. So that has always been my philosophy, is let's see how we can get them to engage and how much we can get them to actually have fun and to love learning. And I think one of the most important thing, as I say, is to just build a relationship with your kids. And I think you also then need to be, as a teacher, you need to be bold. You need to be able to step out there. We can't be teaching the same way that we were taught, I don't know, 30 years ago. Something needed to be changed. And that's how I love being able to engage with them now and using technology to be able to engage with the children. But most importantly, it is building a relationship. And one of the first things I do in my classes right at the start of the year is to get them to share one thing with me that they wouldn't want to share with their friends, or they don't want to share with anybody else. They just want me as their teacher to be able to know it. And then it gets them to feel a bit safer and they feel a bit more comfortable in class, that I've actually got their backs and I do care about them. And I think once you start caring and once you start showing that, yes, you are there to deliver the content, but you're also more interested in their personal lives. How are they doing at home? And, are they enjoying school? We're not always going to enjoy school. And there are some days where us as teachers as well, we don't want to be at school. And I'm sure the kids feel exactly the same way. So I think the more we can engage with them, it just brings out a bit of a different character to them. It takes them out of their comfort zone, but it also takes us out of their comfort zone. And it's been so amazing to be able to use technology to do that. About 2 weeks ago, I spoke to my children about the use of technology and about being on Instagram and about being on TikTok. And I must be honest, I don't know what TikTok is. I've never been on TikTok. And but they love it. And they seem to be really engaged in it. And I managed to find an old student of mine that I taught when I was still a little bit younger. And we've managed to build up this great relationship. So when one of my learners in my class asked me, "Sir, can you please play music?" I was like, oh, here we go again. But yes, let's have some fun. Let's play music. And I played them. Oh, so they asked for this song, "Miss Me When You're Gone" by Will Lindley. And I was absolutely shocked. I was, oh, well, I kind of know this guy. I think I taught this guy, you know, and then my whole class went absolutely crazy. "Oh, sir, he's on TikTok, he's on Instagram, he's on YouTube." I'm like, well, I've never seen these things, you know, I'm an old man, you know, and so again, it was just something a bit different in class, and they managed, so they started telling me all about him. And fortunately enough, I'm still in contact with him, and we managed to do a Zoom call, and he managed to perform his song for us over Zoom. Again, you know, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not really sure what's happening, but the kids showed me how it works. And we had half an hour with Will Lindley, who is apparently now an absolute sensation on TikTok and social media. And he managed to engage with my class. He managed to tell stories to my class. And for me, that was just so amazing. They asked him, you know, he opened himself up as well. He was like, "Oh, please ask me a question." And I was impressed with my students and the questions they asked. So that's, again, just one of the few things that we can do as teachers, is just to move out of our comfort zone, ask those difficult questions, and see what happens. You know, I always have a session once a week with my class where everything just stops and they can ask me anything. You know, I think once you open yourself up, and that's when you can build that relationship. That's when they can share stuff with you about Will Lindley being on TikTok and all sorts of different areas. And it's amazing what you get out of those sessions where you just let yourself be. You open yourself up personally, and you just say, "All right, off you go. Ask me a question, and we'll take it from there." And it's, as I say, it's been very interesting to, you know, to say to them, "I really actually don't know. I don't know what this technology is that you're talking about." And I think once they see that you are human, you can also make mistakes. You also want to learn from them. It makes a big difference, and it just makes the class very exciting.
All right, I am back, Loops. That was phenomenal. I now, I think, understand why my daughter just loves being in your class. Just those moments of having a break. And I'm looking at some of these comments. Stefan, very helpful session. Thank you for sharing and being open. Claire says, "Connecting with the kids is so important. Thank you." Malachi says, "Hey, Lips, as a young teacher just starting out, your humble approach has really encouraged me." And thank you. I think that humble approach has come through. Heidi, I can see why the kids love you. I don't know if we've ever had this amount of comments. Normally when we get this amount of comments, it's either like Matthew Haynes or Lerato on stage. So on that note, Lerato, please hop on. And sorry, it's gone slightly dark in here because we're in load shedding at the moment. Lerato, you talk about just getting that heart of the kid. And you say you make time once a week. How do you start that conversation with the kids? What do you do to actually get them to open up?
I think it's quite important that they lead the session. So I don't try to force them to open up or ask the difficult questions. If they ask me the difficult questions and I'm able to answer them, then they realize we are actually on the same level here. It's not this teacher, student, and the teacher very high up. So for example, I mean, I love telling them stories of, you know, me back in my school days. And the first question is, "So were you naughty?"
Lerato, a comment or a thought or a question from your side?
Wow, Loops, thank you so much. I think all our kids would love you too. We don't want to steal you away from Peter though.
Yes, if there are any principals or senior staff watching this, you are not allowed to put a job offer on for Loops. It's not allowed.
Loops, I loved what you said about learning from your students because believe it, I mean, I teach from little ones. I'm still learning and I learn with such enthusiasm and I show the kids that I didn't know how to do it and they taught me. And just to see them, wait, what? Miss Shuping, you didn't know about this? Just like you said about TikTok, you know? Look, I make it known that I'm learning from you. I don't ever want them to feel like I'm overpowering and I know everything because I don't. Today, there was a coding session that we had and I couldn't work it out. The one girl worked it out and she helped everybody. I was like, thank you. I've been stuck on this. So Loops, I love that you are open like that because I also allow vulnerability in my classroom. And Loops, I'm older than you, but man, do I love TikTok. But what I do with my learners,
I've been told
I
I've
also
got to
had
get
the
on it.
TikTok conversation with my learners. And the main thing I said is, the parents must also be involved. They must know what's happening on social media. They must know their children's TikTok. They must, because at the end of the day, I always tell parents that device, you bought it, you're paying for it. It's not your child's device. So you should know what's happening. And I absolutely love your vulnerability because I also love taking time to get to know my students and, get crazy with them. And ask me questions. What do you guys want to know about Miss Shuping? And I also get like weird and wonderful questions. And my older kids always get blown away that because they're like, how was it studying coding and all of that? I'm self-taught. So it's things like that that blows their mind and inspires them more. So I must say, you inspired me, but maybe all the principals and all the amazing people out there, we shouldn't say anything because he belongs to Peter.
Into anyone's mind. I see Leslie says we're using TikTok for art and culture, dramas as well.
Yes.
There we go. Embrace the technology. All right. Sadly, Loops, I think I could have asked you another 30 questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be really, really naughty. And I actually have to take my shoe off for this, if you can believe it. I don't know if we can go onto that camera angle on my left, guys. We got branded feltskin that we got sponsored. I don't know if you can see this light is terrible at the moment. We'll go look over there. But anyway, so Feltskin is now doing a range of school shoes, if you can believe that. But what they've also done is they do cool shoes for adults. So they wanted us to give away a couple of pairs of shoes. And I just think I've been inspired. We were going to give it away online for someone who had the best comment or the best thoughts, but your thing around just bringing that speaker in blew me away. So I think you're not going to get this shoe, luckily for you, but you are going to get a pair of branded Feltskin. You can put whatever logo you want on.
Oh, awesome.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
And that is not bribery and corruption. You can still fail my daughter. But yeah, big thank you to Feltskin who sponsored this amazing company. In fact, I think they've got some royals wearing their Feltskins. They've got Ashton Kutcher, like absolutely amazing. And it's a South African company and now they do school shoes. So there's my pun for them because they are awesome. All right. Loops, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to exit left, but thank you. And we'll make sure you get your pair of branded Feltskin.
Thank you.
All right, Lerato, we are nearly there. We have one more set of speakers lined up. So we are going to pull that set of speakers on. But before we do that, we just want the team from Dell to finish up. So let's see. I'm really hoping she's there. Now, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you guys hear me?
I can. Brilliant. Lerato, you can drop off school. Danao, welcome on stage if you want to turn on your camera. And I know you want to just give us a little bit more about what Dell is actually doing in school and in classrooms. So I'm going to hand over to you to share.
Great. Just tell me, what are you seeing? Are you seeing just a slide?
Yeah, I've got your collaboration hybrid classrooms, connect, present, collaborate. That excites me.
Fantastic. Hi, everybody. My name is Dinao Letsolo. I am the EMEA product manager for large displays and room solutions for Dell. So today I will be talking about basically how to move from a the traditional way of educating to a hybrid and blended education. What we've seen is that learning in the future will be hybrid and blended. And educators and students both require a fluid experience realized across a continuum of spaces that is motivated by a need for flexibility when it comes to how and where learning takes place. Education won't be confined to a physical classroom or strictly virtual environments, but remote participation will be just as dynamic as in-person learning. The flexibility that hybrid and blended learning offers, while not new to all, may be new to many and will have far-reaching impact. So the modern hybrid classroom will be boundaryless. Students and educators will be empowered by synchronous and asynchronous learning, as well as interactive and multimodal engagement designed to meet the needs of every student in every circumstance. Devices have been designed to support a range of spaces so that no voice goes unheard. So returning to the classroom post-pandemic means solving new challenges around safety, education, continuity, and communication. And I believe earlier on, we're also talking about security. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us that the flexibility in learning environments can help accommodate students with various learning styles, abilities, as well as needs. Some students flourish on video when they're in the comfort of their home, while others feel more engaged in the classroom. Students who can't go to school due to illness or other circumstances can still now connect to the classroom and continue learning wherever they are. So by equipping classrooms with technology designed to enhance hybrid education will allow instructors to focus on teaching while giving both in-person and remote students a high-quality learning experience. So optimizing a classroom for hybrid teaching and learning is key to ensure that your students can hear and can be heard. You need to consider your audio and video technology to ensure both remote and in-room participants can be clearly heard and understood. Capturing physical, non-verbal communication like facial expressions or gestures is as important as the classroom content to ensure maximum engagement and understanding. By using technology that offers microphone arrays, noise suppression, and high-quality speakers, students can clearly hear and participate in classroom conversations without poor audio getting in the way. And as a mother of girls that are being homeschooled, it is quite important that they are being heard as well. They're being able to hear and see the teacher while they're teaching as well. I mean, we had some teething issues in the beginning when the pandemic started, because there was a lot of things that the kids needed to learn to be able to express themselves on Zoom, to express themselves on video, and also know that the teacher is always watching them as well. You need to be able to give teachers the ability to move around. High quality video is a necessity for modern collaboration. Technology for cameras has advanced significantly, with high quality cameras now available for all spaces. Cameras with auto framing capabilities allow teachers to move around the room naturally to fit their teaching style while capturing the actions so students at home can clearly see. And being able to wirelessly present from the device while still moving around and being able to still engage with the classroom with classroom management software that where you can actually see what the students are actually doing helps even more. You can bring digital flexibility to physical spaces. And there's a variety of ways that you can share and interact dynamically with content. A common scenario, as I mentioned, is sharing directly from a participant's device. To ensure students and educators working remotely can fully participate in group collaboration and meetings, education workspaces will need technology to help bridge the divide between the old in-person models and the new hybrid and remote spaces. Using personal and shared devices in a digital or hybrid learning environment will help students socialize more and gain key skills they'll use throughout their lives. With the use of interactive displays in the classroom, educators can now annotate any type of content or write on a digital whiteboard in real time, creating a dynamic learning experience for both in-person and remote students. It's also easy to save and send whiteboards and any notations so students can refer back to them later. So why choose Dell for collaboration? Because our solutions are a reflection of our commitment to innovation, productivity, and reliability, making sure that you are able to work, educate effectively and efficiently together, whether at home, in the classroom, or in the office. Bringing the future of collaboration to the forefront, Dell has designed varying size panels offering Dell customers options for building collaboration spaces suited for their budget and business. We have beautiful large monitors with touch technology designed to make group collaboration a little bit more seamless. Truly designed for the classroom, these monitors have scaling technology intended to elevate text clarity and presentations on screen. With our 4K screens as well, you'll be able to share those beautiful 4K videos that we can find that our educators are creating. So our collaboration solutions are software and hardware agnostic, easy to deploy, and even easier to use. World-class technologies need world-class collaborators. So we have partnered with leading companies to complete the solution, to help you, our customers, deliver consistent collaboration experience. Our interactive monitors feature a unique design that's compatible with our Dell Micro PC, which integrates seamlessly into the back panel. This thus creates an all-in-one solution that simplifies deployment and network management. So our monitors are easy to deploy. They will serve well for digital whiteboarding in the classroom. You can present from almost any source, including wirelessly, when paired up with one of our partners' wireless receiver and the classroom management software that comes with it that lets you connect simultaneously to up to 50 student devices. You can customize our solutions to how you see fit. Not only can we customize, but we also have standard bundles that we have put together. Yeah.
Sorry to cut in over you. We are sadly out of time. But if you would like to give us just 30 seconds more, maybe kind of next steps. And I know we've also got a Dell gift, which I would love to give away. So if you'd like to give us some closing remarks.
Sure, no problem. So we are able to provide you either a modular approach to be able to, that would work with existing investments or infrastructure that you currently have, or you can go with a bundle approach with ready-made solutions from Zoom rooms or Teams, Microsoft Teams rooms to be able to also apply your Microsoft 365 licenses there. We are able to also create solutions specifically for your students or your teachers based on the device, the personal device that they're getting. We can add different client peripherals to be able to form a bundle solution, making it easier for you to actually help your parents budget more for the next year, so that they've got all the tools that they need, whether they're learning from school or they're learning from home. So please do contact us. We can be able to put together bundle solutions end to end from the classroom to personal solutions.
Awesome. I think what excites me is just there's so much available out there that we can look from Dell's side. There is a poll. If you are looking, going, wait a second, maybe some of those solutions would work in my school. Please, on the poll, just click yes. It allows us to share the information with the team from Dell. But you know, that's absolutely amazing and just cool seeing, looking at the stuff now and looking at what was in that other school, what you've done is absolutely phenomenal. So we actually want to give away a Dell prize. We have one-time snug Wi-Fi range extender and a laptop bag and a 32 gigabyte USB key ring. So that is quite a lot from Dell, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to ask everyone, get on the chat bar in the ready. I want you to mention one thing that stood out from Dell's presentation, be it when Danae was speaking, or be it when the school where Christian was speaking, or Pamela, just one thing that stood out, one thing that's made an impact for you. Oh, Kanya was on the ball. Oh, there we go. Now they come in all through. We're going to let you write a couple of comments, and then we're going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and choose one. But Danae, thanks so much. I think you have now dropped off, but we just really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and And thanks for coming back on when you had disappeared. I know how stressful this Wi-Fi thing can be. So it's cool also to see that you guys have solutions. I think possibly you need to hook us up with some of those solutions so we don't lose any speakers. All right, I'm going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo to see who has won this prize. This is awkward because I have to press your screen and move things. All right. Marilyn Null mentioned the bundle that's available. All right, so Marilyn, congratulations. You've just won yourself a Wi-Fi extender, a laptop bag, and USB key rings. All right, so a big thank you just before we bring on our last set of speakers, if they would like to come on stage so long. Just a big thank you for Dell. Once again, Dell is one of our biggest sponsors for this event, and what they're doing in education with technology is amazing. We've just kind of fallen in love with what they're doing. So they said, listen, can we come on and share a couple of things? So we're like, please, we'd love to see what you have. So Dell, thank you for helping make this event happen. We appreciate your support. For all the schools out there, once again, massive thank you from their side. Just to be able to do this is thank you to them. So schools that you are aware. All right, next up, we have got another teacher who's actually going to do something on coding and robotics. So I'm going to invite Willem de Tooy on stage. Willem, are you there? I think you are sharing your screen because I can see myself multiplied on the screen. And Willem is from St. Dominic's Priory. Are you there, Willem? Yes, there's Willem.
Yes,
how are you, Willem?
yeah, hello. Hi. Hi, yourself.
Good, I'm good, thanks. Cool. So part of what we've realized is a hot topic at the moment is coding and robotics, how it applies in a school, how you roll out. So we really, once again, wanted to show you solutions that schools were using. So we've invited Willem on stage. Willem is going to share what he's using, why he's using it, why he chose it. And then afterwards, we'll bring on some of the industry experts that helped made it happen. So Willem, the floor is yours. Over to you.
Thank you. You're seeing my presentation and you can hear me.
Yes, we've got you loud and clear. I can see coding and robotics. Your first slide up. It's looking good.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity to listen to me. I know it's a little bit tough to be online at this time of Tuesday afternoon, but I'll be quick. So I would just like to quickly give a little bit of background. I'm a grade 7 teacher, and I'm also teaching coding and robotics for grade 4 to 7. And for the last couple of years, I've been in charge of coordinating 21st century sort of skills and education at my school, which is here in Port Elizabeth. And I would just like to give a little bit of backstory. We came quite a long way when we started first with one-on-one devices in 2016. It was sort of a gradual rollout because we didn't want to overwhelm everyone. So we had 2 grades per year, and we started off with basically just using the textbooks on their devices to enrich their learning. And we also then started working in Google Workspace, where we moved everything over to Gmail, and we started using Google Docs and Sheets and all of that. And then the pupils still attended separate computer literacy classes, which was basically focusing on MS Office and the like. And then we realized, well, we have a problem now because the daily device usage actually showed us that the kids needed to learn how to use these devices, and because they would have to interact with the content on there. So then we decided to timetable a lesson we just called e-learning, and we spent time with them on their devices, showing them how to create things on their actual devices. We started using Google Classroom. We wanted to get them to work in sort of a collaborative cloud-based environment. And then eventually, after a year or so, the e-learning lesson became a coding-focused lesson. So we actually built it into our timetable. There are schools that do it as like an extramural, but we decided to just, while the kids are at school, that's what we're going to do. So we realized that we had a need for a curriculum because in the past couple of years, there was an enormous amount of resources, and most of it's like overseas type stuff. So we decided, you know what, for us to curate these lessons and get things to work, because I'm basically in charge of grade pre-R to 7, it's just an enormous task to do that. So we wanted to take a direction and basically pilot a curriculum. So before I get to that, why should we do coding and robotics? I feel like for a lot of people, it's like this sort of abstract concept, but it's a really, really nice subject to actually teach. It addresses a lot of the skills that we need to develop for our pupils to survive in like a 21st century job environment. And the Department of Education has said that they would like to have this as like a full-on subject that's part of the grade R to 9 curriculum. So it's very unique, but it is amazing how coding and robotics can basically cross-curricular integration. It lends itself a lot to that. In each phase, foundation phase, intermediate phase, and senior phase, there are different focus areas, but basically what you're looking at is pattern recognition, algorithms, robotic skills, and then something that sometimes falls by the wayside is the internet and e-communication skills, how to be a responsible digital citizen, how to share with care, how to manage yourself in a very online environment that these pupils are growing up in. So then we discovered School Coding, SA School Coding, and they helped us to employ sort of a curriculum at our school that focuses on the different phases, and it's sort of a progression between the grades. So what they offered us was a full-on curriculum that's basically more focused towards the South African context. So there's a CAPS working document at the moment, and they have workbooks for grade R to 3 that we also purchased. I have an example that I'll show later. And it's CAPS aligned, and as some of the activities are what's called an unplugged activity, so they don't actually need any hardware or a computer. They can recognize the pattern and get working towards the basics of coding. And then what's really great is we are a Google school, but they can help you to work in Microsoft Teams or in Google Workspace. So the environment's familiar to us because we've been using Google for many years, and it's set up for you with like a lesson plan that shows you what you should do. What I specifically like is that there's a separate teacher's guide. So if I'm a little bit unsure about this specific thing that I need to approach now, I can just go there, and there's usually a video or a decent explanation that's just aimed at teachers to make them feel a little bit more comfortable before they go into their coding and robotics classroom. Then they also provided a decent amount of training. I mean, I've been working in Scratch for a couple of years now, but I learned a lot of new things. And we're in a sort of a group together with other schools that are in the same boat, and we collaborate together, share what we're experiencing, share new ideas, and you can literally send them a chat message and you don't wait very long and you have your answer. So especially for us, where it's like not new, but it's new for us to follow a set curriculum where there's meant to be progression between the phases and the grades. So here's an example. It's a screen grab from Google Classroom, and this is from a grade 3 Google Classroom, if I'm not mistaken. So they don't throw away, the curriculum doesn't throw away the regular computer skills like how to type, how to do word processing, how to work in Microsoft Office, parts of the computer. It's still built in, but the Google Classrooms are set up. This is the teacher guide view, where it literally tells you, go to the textbook here, check this is the activity that you want to do, this is what you need to ask the kids, this is how you can scaffold it for the kids that are not so adept at understanding the coding and aspect of it. And if you work through this, then there's a separate Google Classroom that is aimed specifically at the children. And then this term, we started in full force. So this is a little screen grab from the textbook. It's actually also a workbook. They work in that textbook, and they are busy developing for grade 4 upwards as well, which is great because it really enriches the whole thing. Here's another example of a Scratch Junior activity that they had to do. This is from a grade 1 book, and it explains everything there. And then before you take them to their actual computer lab where they have to work in this, they can first see it, and you can make sure that they know what to expect. This term we did a little project that I made a screen recording of in Scratch, where this is for grade 7 pupils example. Basically what they had to do is they had to write code for a little game that they had to design, where their superhero catches stars and there's a little score counter in the top left corner, and it looks like the superhero is flying. When you press the space bar key, it does a little fancy sort of twirl. I'm hoping this video plays okay. So there you can see it's even the superhero is even introducing itself and what it does. And as it catches the stars, the score increases. And that took a few weeks, but when they see their final project in action, it is really something for them. And I'm pretty sure that I've covered everything except the hardware. So we also purchased these Edison robots through School Coding, because we want the kids to be able to, write a little bit of a script and then put it onto this robot and then see it in action, like go forward, turn left, or whatever. The biggest issue that we've had in the past with these robots is that they need a USB. And if you're a school with iPads, then you can't connect your robots through USB. But these Edisons work with an auxiliary cable, so you just plug it into your sound of your device, and then you add it into your Edison, and it carries over the code. It also can sense its environment, which is quite a nice thing to have if you want to write code where if you encounter an obstacle, reverse for 2 seconds or whatever the case may be. And we decided to invest in these devices that we also got through SA School Coding, and they will be seeing their code in action when the time comes. And that's me. I think I've covered my time. I don't know.
Like a dream. I love it when people keep to time. Willem, thanks so much for showing us what you do. I think it's so cool. Just, coding and robotics. I wish I had it. I wish I could make people fly across screens. I'm going to invite Sean. There's Sean on stage already. Maybe, Willem, just one thing. If you could give a tip to a teacher who is not a coding and robotics teacher, someone who's just in the classroom as a teacher that hasn't yet used coding or robotics or looked at introducing anything into their class, is there a tip you would give them, like a starting point or a thought or something that might help them go, okay, I could use this in my class?
Well, you don't really need like fancy infrastructure. Like if you're going to work in Scratch and Scratch Junior, those are offline activities, so you don't actually need internet connectivity. It does help if you can work in the cloud, but I think to start is to just realize that it's not the robots you see in the VW factory. It's really coding and robotics. Is if you get the gist of it, it's such a fun subject to teach, because there are a gazillion possibilities of what you can do with code, and starting them off in Scratch is actually a good starting point, because you don't have to learn all the in parentheses and in brackets and in this and in that. The code is written for you, so you just need to teach them about sequencing and problem solving. Okay, I've done everything I wanted, but my character is not doing what I wanted to do, or my robot is going in reverse gear. Why is that? And they need to go back to the drawing board. So just jump. That's what I would say. We came for the past couple of years. It's not something that will happen overnight, but just jump in and start. You don't even have to start with little robots. You can just start in Scratch or any other coding platform and just get going.
Willem, thank you. I think, yeah, just try it. I think as we saw from previous sessions, some of the kids will actually help you. All right, Sean, I see you on stage. One of the things we want to do is not only show your school using a solution, but more importantly, show you the companies that can help with that. So Sean, I'd like to hand over to you just to share about, obviously you've helped Willem School and you can help other schools. So can you give us a bit more about who you are and how you can help schools?
Yeah, thanks, Peter, and thank you, Willem, for that very comprehensive overview of what you've been doing using our materials. I'm going to pick up on the teacher training aspect of what Willem was talking about, because we've realized that just so many teachers are new to coding and robotics, and they really need someone to hold their hand and just help them navigate getting started with it. So what you should be seeing on my screen is our teacher training guides. So those workbooks that Willem was talking about, each one has a corresponding teacher's guide, which contains everything that's needed to be able to present that subject in your classroom.
Nothing sharing on our side? Are you sharing screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing a message that says, please grant browser access to screen recording. Maybe that's on my side.
I think that's on your side.
Okay.
I think just while Sean is sorting that out, I think the team from SA School Coding, I think they are there as a support for you as a school. So I think he's going to be showing you some of the resources that you can pick up and use. Sean, are you having any luck? Should I give away a prize while we wait?
Yes. I'm probably just going to have to restart my session and then I'll be back.
Okay. While he's doing that, we've got some prizes to give away. So I love giving away prizes. So Lerato, are you still on stage? If you can jump on, you've got some air tags to give away. Oh, there's Lerato. Okay, so I asked Lerato to choose out of the comments of the favorite apps that you're using. She needed to choose one of the comments, and that person's going to win some air tags. So, Lerato, who is that winner?
Drum roll. And these were all awesome apps. CapCut came real close, but the winner is Samira Khan for Canva.
Woohoo! All right.
That is a new favorite app here. I mean, we had a wonderful edtech cluster the other day at Rodin, and Canva was the hot topic. It's the hot topic everywhere, and it's free for educators. So I would highly recommend everybody sign up for Canva. It's absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. Thank you for doing that. And interesting enough, tomorrow one of our speakers is Matthew Haynes, and he's going to be talking about Canva. So that's absolutely perfect.
Yes.
So join us tomorrow. All right, Moritz, I see you on stage. You're also part of SA School Coding. So while Sean is getting his stuff in place, would you like to, oh, there we go. I think you've pulled up something there for us. Would you like to share with us for a little bit? Moritz, are you there? Moritz, you are muted at the moment. Moritz, if you Alt-Tab and then just unmute. Moritz, can you hear us? Moritz, we can't hear you. Did you just plug your speaker in? And this is from the tech company. Can you hear us? We got nothing on this side. All right, we've lost one with no sound, lost one with no screen. Sean, are you there? If not, Lerato, you maybe Moritz, try click unmute there. Let's see what happens. All right, Moritz, I advise just pull your headset out. Often that works. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while Moritz and Sean sort themselves out.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Over to you, Moritz.
Right. Thank you, Peter. Technical issues here on our side with some debugging we had to do. That's part of problem solving, coding, and robotics, Peter.
Wow.
Everything in the back end not always running ship shape. So may I start?
Yes, just while you're doing that, Moritz, if you would like more information on what Willem presented, please, there is a poll. Just click on that poll at the top there. It will say, would you like to be sent more information on SA School Coding's amazing coding and robotics offering? If you click yes, it means we can allow Moritz and his team to share the information that Willem shared on and how they're doing it. So please just click on yes if you'd like more info. All right, Moritz, back to you.
So, Peter, yes, I just want to say thank you to Willem also for his presentation. It's awesome when you have an excited client and school participating and joining on their coding journey and then sharing it also with the community. And it's also better having someone else rave about your amazing service and products than you trying to do it yourself. So what I quickly want to touch, I'm trying to get a certain message across, and Dell made an awesome presentation where they say that the client and the school, they take them to heart and want to assist and support, and we are on that exact same mission. And what I quickly want to show you before Sean comes online is we've got a digital coding and robotics solution for our schools. And here I've just dotted in some numbers. If we have, for example, 750, let me just cancel all these calls. Quiet now. Sorry about that. Tech, you see. Okay, ring in the background. It's beautiful news. Yes.
Keep going. You're doing great. Keep on going.
I'm trying to get there. Yes. Right. So, just doing so many gears at the moment. All right. So I'm going to try, for Pete's sake.
For my sake. That's for my sake.
Right. Here we go again. So just to show you our budget estimated that if we dot in 750 students for your particular school, there's the grade level, there's the number of school fees, and our workbooks, as Willem explained, for the grade R to 3, the solution that we've got here. And for this particular school, we've got 33,000 would be the cost of the workbooks. Sean, thank you. All right. So we've got 33,000 for the workbooks and the licensing cost of 130 Rand. Now, this is where things get a bit complicated when I try to explain it to schools. So watch the magic. It's 130 Rand licensing cost. We say that if you can start a coding club at your school, we will subsidize this license cost by 50%. So instead of paying 130 Rand per child, you're going to pay 65 Rand per child. And if I just do this quickly again, so from 131,000, we subsidize you to, let's click on the yes, we subsidize you to 82,000 Rand. Now, this is what we require. A minimum of 31 children taking part in an extramural coding club at your school. 31 students from 750 students. And in most cases, we have a waiting list at schools for our clubs. The children sign up, the parents sign up. We've got an online store, a shop where they log in their details. And these are for the children who really have a passion for coding and want to learn more. During school time, we cover the basic syllabus, but as an extramural, we go more in depth in certain concepts and principles. It's small classes and the children greatly enjoy it. And the advantage to the school is it funds your in-school program. So basically, by just having 31 kids in your coding club for an extramural, so 2 sessions in a week, and you're going to pay a startup cost of only 27,000 Rand. Now, this is where it sounds more like a Verimark ad. So if we do the no over here, so from 131,000, we drop the cost that if you have 31 children in your club, you are only going to be liable for 27,000 Rand. Promise you, that is it. And maybe you are very skeptic and say, oh, but what if I don't have 31 children? What if I only have 20 children? Well, you're paying the difference, and the difference is 17,600, and there's your total. So it's really a no-brainer. You can make contact with us. We can get your school to coding. You will have your training that Sean will share a bit more about. CAPS aligned curriculum, everything. Maybe you want to tell us that you don't have any devices. Then we've got a 3-year solution for you as well. So here's our Chromebooks. You select your device. You choose from our list of devices available. You want, for example, 50 in your school, and you're going to choose our payment term, 36 months. The number of users, the same, the 750 students. The monthly payment will now be 16,000 Rand, but the price per child per year is then 21,000. And look at this beautiful amount. The price per student is only 2 Rand per month. I mean, that's not even a packet of Fritos. Not that I know what that costs anymore. It was 30 cents when I was at school, but less than 2 Rand. Then you have a device. Robots, our Edison robots that Willem spoke about. Again, 30 robots for your classroom. The creator kits paid over 36 months per student per month. It will work out. I've got my children. Oh, that's too many children. 750. Just plotting all those numbers. It will cost you 4 Rand per month for your. This is actually 4 Rand per year. Wow, that's even better. This is an error. This is my CTO made an error. Yeah, this should be per year. That's even better. So 4 Rand per year for a robot. Now, hello, 4 Rand for a year per child for a robot. I mean, that's great. So please make contact with us and let's get this country coding. That's
All right,
my
I love
song.
that. Moritz, my favorite comment of today. Lindsay Hart says, Moritz, if this was a very mark ad, you would need to add statements. But wait, there's more. But I think you did add
more.
that.
Oh. I was concerned about plagiarism, Pete, and maybe get sued by them.
And I love it. Malachi was asking about the robots and affordability, and he's just commented, now, never mind, I see the robots are affordable. So at 4 Rand, incredibly affordable. Moritz, once again, everyone, if you want more info, if you actually want to see this budget calculator, etc., please fill in the poll. Sean, are you ready to share? I think we've got 8 minutes or 5 minutes. We're way over time, but if you've got 5 minutes to share, Sean, are you there?
But wait, there's more, Peter. Can you hear me, Peter?
Yes, we can hear you. Can we
but wait, there is more. So if you choose School Coding as your supplier of coding and robotics, you also get a fully blended learning solution, which means that for every student workbook, there is a full teacher's guide available, not only in English, but also in Afrikaans. How amazing is that? And we also have SACE accredited training. So here is our digital technology for teachers course. And we are taking teachers through a crash course over 1 month. We're going to take you from zero to hero, and we're going to help you to learn how to teach about technology, to teaching with technology, to teaching through technology. You don't need to do 160 hours of training, just 4 Monday nights, 2 hours every Monday night for a month. And we're going to take you through a series of lessons. And we then are going to give you some projects to do. So you can see here is the beginner project.
Sorry, Sean, you're not sharing anything. When it rains, it pours. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm going to try again.
Lindsay asks, how do we enroll in this course?
Promise.
Lindsay, I think
No.
just to answer your question, how to enroll in the course, jump on the poll and click that you would like more information. What they can do as part of that information is they can send you the course info, and they could share this fabled presentation that is somewhere out there, just not in front of us.
Yeah, unfortunately, my share is not working at the moment. Perhaps Moritz can just share his screen and just show us the digital technology
But I
for
think,
teachers.
Sean, I think just talk us through it. Don't worry about the presentation. I think it'll be easier if you just tell us about it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, no problem. We've got a great team. So what we've done is we've put together a digital technology for teachers course, which will train teachers on how to use the resources that we provide. It's a SACE accredited course, and it runs over 1 month, which means you can put your whole team through our course in 1 month, and after the first workshop, you will be able to start delivering those lessons with your students. So Moritz, maybe just go down to the projects topic towards the bottom and open up the beginner project. And in the beginner project, we showed teachers how to use Scratch Junior, which is typically the software that's needed for the foundation phase. And there are a couple of hand-ins. And if we have a look at Willem's hand-in for that beginner project, he recorded a video using Flipgrid. So his project is down on the left-hand side. There we go, right at the bottom right. So we'll just play his video for you and show you what he came up with. Maybe make it full screen, please, Moritz. No, we don't want the immersive reader, so come out of that. Just play the video and make it full screen. I don't know if the audio is coming through for you, but you can see here that Willem has taken a Scratch Junior starter lesson, and just using the Scratch app, he has put together a whole story. He's coded up some engagement and interaction between the characters. And this was his homework after the beginner workshop. He then had to use Flipgrid to record a video while he was sharing his screen. And now you can see how his characters are interacting in the story. So now, having done this as a teacher, he's in a very strong position to do this with his students using the activities provided in the student workbooks. So that's a great example from the beginner workshop. If we come out of that one and go and have a look at the intermediate workshop, we then showed teachers how to use Scratch. And we taught them how to use Scratch using another medium called Edpuzzle.
Sean, sorry, just to give you a heads up, 1 more minute left. We have a hard stop at 5. So
no problem. So have a look at one of the submissions that have been graded on the intermediate project. And you'll see that if you go down to the bottom left, you'll see one of the videos like Unette. If you have a look at Unette's, you'll see that she's actually provided a bunch of feedback. And this is a self-guided course, which is great because it means that teachers can actually learn how to use Scratch, which they need to teach their students in a self-guided way. It's auto-graded. They do it from the convenience of their own home. And at the end of the day, they've learned how to use Scratch. They're learning how to use the Google Classroom. So it's a fully interactive, engaging medium. And then the very last one was the advanced course, where we then got them to develop a fully fledged lesson plan. And they now can take their lesson plan and use it in their classroom. And you'll see that teachers are just amazing people. You just give them a little bit of direction and encouragement, and they bring all their energy and effort to bear. And remember, this was a course that they did after hours, which included homework.
All right, Sean, sadly, I'm going to have to cut you there, I'm sorry to say. But the good news is lots of people are saying, how do I get this course, etc. So please jump onto the poll. I think what would be great is also you can visit the exhibitor booth, look for SA School Coding. Sean and Moritz will be available. So you can pop any questions, you can get their contact details, or fill in the poll. All right, Sean, thank you so much. We just appreciate it. I think, and wait, there is more. It is affordable. I think one of the people here said this is a great pension job. So I know there is opportunities for the to get trained and get equipped. And I think also just to get ahead of the curve, you know, coding and robotics is becoming a huge thing in this country moving forward. And we need it. We need to see our learners going out with these schools, with these skills. Golly, end of the day, these skills. So Lerato, are you there? If you're still on stage, you can jump on. We've got 2 prizes to give away. One I'm quite excited about is a pair of Pluckies, and the other is a wired headset. But Sean and Moritz, thank you so much. And thank you also for what you do within education. Do we have a Lerato or not? No Lerato. All right, I'm going to give away some prizes. Okay, this is going to be, it's the end of the day. It's the end of a long day. And this prize, I think, is going to be most suited for a guy. So guys, are you on your keyboard? Are you ready? Or ladies, are you on ready for a guy you might know? We have a pair of Pluckies up for grab. So I mentioned a brand name that is linked to some shoes, some leather South African shoes. If you can mention their brand name, you are, there we go, golly. Henrika Cronier, you've just won yourself or someone in your life a pair of Veldskoen Pluckies. And they are awesome because they actually say Pluckies across it. So well done. And I'm shocked to see so many people so quick at the end of the day. So you have just won. You were first on the draw. So well done for winning that. And thank you again to Veldskoen. And then we've got a pair of 2 things before I mention that. One, we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. There are a lot of exhibitors, companies that have solutions that are built for schools on the platform. So if you would like to go on and check them out, if you go to about 18 of them and like them, comment and enter their deals and offers, you go into our grand prize. So we have visualizers, we have 100,000 rands worth of value from this company, a whole pile of things, even a tablet, full-on tablet from the guys at Toshiba up for grabs. So please go into the passport competition by visiting our exhibitors. And the aim is really just go look for solutions. Go visit the school coding guys. Find out what they have on to offer. Ask them some questions. And that means you go in. And then we have... I love Heidi says, you know, you're South African when you know what Pluckies are. Well said. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one last. We have a headset sponsored by Parrot that is available. So wired headsets, I use them often in my office. They've got like a mic. They are pretty cool. They make you feel like ground control to Major Tom. So I need to ask a question. Simply, but I want you to put down in the chat bar who your favorite speaker was from today. Just write in their name. Was it Lerato? Was it Loops? Was it Willem? Who was it? Just shove their name in, and then I'm going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo to choose a winner. And that's going to be our last prize for the day. Oh, look at that. I see we got Loops with the capitals. Lerato all the way, still as a favorite. Lerato is coming through a lot. I'm so glad she could co-host with us today. Lerato, are you still there? If you are, please jump on stage. Okay, I am going to draw one winner, and I'm just closing my eyes and going up and down on the screen, and I'm going to point. Caroline Anderson, you have just won. I just got to write your name down, otherwise I'll forget. You have just won yourself a headset, so we'll be in touch to share those. But thank you everyone for being with us today. We really appreciate it. We hope you found some new solutions used by real schools. That's our heart, is to introduce you to real solutions. One last thing from my side. I feel like I'm now the very mark guy going, but wait, there is more. On Friday, we have a physical event in Joburg. That happens at Galleria near Woodmead. If you are in Joburg and you would like to attend, we have a couple of tickets available. Our virtual sessions are pretty much full. We can't take any more people. But if you would like to come meet some of these companies you've seen in person, mix with your peers, we're going to share a link now to our Schoolscape Premier website. Go on and you can either join us for the afternoon or morning session. Once again, it's free. There's going to be lots of cool stuff, lots of cool prizes, coffee, food up for grabs. So that link should be coming through. There it is. So please jump on. And then on that, we will see you tomorrow for some more speakers from Canva to new tech, a whole pile of other stuff. So jump on and join us tomorrow at 3. And if you missed the beginning and you missed Lerato or Lup's session, you can watch it on demand. All right, over and out. Thank you, everyone.